Right, so I'm back, and again, this is another World Cup video because it's still a little relevant and there's still quite a few things that I have to get off my chest. But this time, as you can tell by the title, we're going to be doing my team of the tournament. I'm going to try to do this rather quickly because I feel like so many people have already done it. We already know who performed well, we know who didn't perform so well, but this is my personal opinion and what team I would create based off of the World Cup tournament, based off of what they did at that tournament, you know? So let's just get straight into it and let's start off with the goalkeeper. Obviously I was rooting for Argentina, but I'm not going to go for the Argentinian goalkeeper. I'm not going to go for Emi Martinez. He won the Golden Glove, who I say he does deserve it, but I think there's a goalkeeper who was a little more deserving. Emi Martinez, special mention to him. He's my honorable mention, but my best goalkeeper was Dominic Livakovic of Croatia. I think he was absolutely insane. He saved 4 penalties in 2 different shootouts. It was absolutely insane, and he helped Croatia progress all the way to the semifinals, beating Brazil on the way, by the way. Absolutely insane. So I think Dominic Livakovic is definitely deserving of the Golden Glove and the starting goalkeeper position in this World Cup team. For left back, I'm going to go for Rafael Guerreiro. I didn't see much of the Portugal games, but I think he was pretty good. He got a few assists. He played really well, and I think he deserves it. Also, I got to give a spot to a Portuguese player because they did make it quite far. Special mention to Theo Hernandez, who also had a good tournament, while also to the Argentinian left backs, Tagliafico and Acuna. I love the way both of them played, but considering the playing time that they had to share the playing time together, I couldn't really give it to them because they didn't have enough playing time, at least not as much as Rafael Guerreiro, who obviously played for Portugal, and he took off the spot from Cancelo, and I think he is fully deserving of this starting position at left back. Starting center backs, I'm going to go for the pair. I'm going to go for Gvardiol of Croatia. He was absolutely amazing. Apart from that moment with Messi, I think he was absolutely fantastic. And an honorable mention to Thiago Silva. Obviously, he's not going to be the partner to Gvardiol, but for me, I think the next partner, or the partner for Josko Gvardiol should be Nicolas Otamendi, mostly because he was absolutely horrendous in the 2018 World Cup, but he has shown his quality again over here at the 2022 World Cup and for Argentina. I know he made a few mistakes, especially in the final, but I still think he was absolutely fantastic. He played so well, and he was just so impressive and so dominant. Of course, special mention to Cristian Romero, of course, of Argentina as well, but also Romain Saiz, who played really well for Morocco as well, who helped them progress and keep the clean sheets that they did. At right position, of course, speaking of the clean sheets that they kept, of course, Achraf Hakimi, arguably Morocco's best player. He was absolutely fantastic for them. Obviously, he's going to be my starting right back. You know, an honorable mention to Molina of Argentina, but it had to be Hakimi. I think everyone would agree that the starting right back for a World Cup dream team would be Achraf Hakimi, hence why I have him there, and he helped Morocco progress. Onto the midfield, I'm going for a 4-3-3, and we have a defensive midfielder, a central midfielder, and attacking midfielder. You will find out who they are, but let's start off with the defensive midfielder. I'm going for Morocco's Amrabat. I believe that's how you pronounce it, but I think he was absolutely amazing. I didn't watch all the Morocco games. I'm sorry, I just wasn't able to wake up at that time. But anyways, I still think Morocco did really well, and it's mostly down to, obviously, Hakimi, the defensive line, alongside Romain Saiz and others, Yassine Bonu, but also Amrabat. He had a work engine on him. He played so well. He was a leader in that midfield, and he was able to help Morocco do the things that they were able to and keep the defensive line intact in that defensive midfield position. So that's why I have him. But also an honorable mention to De Jong, who played pretty well for the Netherlands, and he was one of the main players that stood out to me when Netherlands did play. In central midfield, I have to go for this player. I know they didn't progress past the quarterfinals, but I think he was absolutely amazing, and you may have already guessed who I'm going for. No, I'm not going for, you know what, let's just say the name. I'm going for Jude Bellingham. He is absolutely fantastic. That game up against Senegal was absolutely fantastic. He ran that midfield. Of course, Jordan Henderson helped out. Of course, Phil Foden got the praises, but I think Jude Bellingham was absolutely fantastic. He was running up and down that field, and I saw the game in its entirety, and I love the way that Jude Bellingham performed. Just behind him, you know, as an honorable mention, I would go for Enzo Fernandez. He got the Young Player of the Tournament, and Jude Bellingham had a shout as well, but I think Enzo Fernandez also deserves a mention in this World Cup team. As much as I would love to put him, I have to put this other player in the attacking position. So speaking of the player that I must have in this team, it's Antoine Griezmann. I have to have him in attacking midfield / in a, in an 8 role. He played in a position where he was offensively impactful, yet also defensively he was so good defensively as well. Like, I cannot understate, or I cannot oversell this, because he played so well defensively and offensively. He was a catalyst of that French side that helped score so many goals, So Antoine Griezmann, definitely a shout for player of the tournament and player in this side, but that's why I have him as my number 10, creating all the chances that this team would need to score the goals. Speaking of scoring goals, we have on the left wing, is there really any debate about this? We have Kylian Mbappe of France, the top goal scorer of this World Cup tournament. He was absolutely fantastic alongside Antoine Griezmann. He scored a hat-trick in the final with 2 penalties, and he didn't miss a single penalty, I believe, at this tournament. So congratulations to Kylian Mbappe. Unfortunate that you lost out to Argentina in the final, but Kylian Mbappe, you definitely deserve this spot in this left wing spot, and this dream team. So yeah, Kylian Mbappe, there's not much else to say, but he deserves it. In the striker role, there's no other player that I would rather put than this Argentinian youngster who I had as my young player of the tournament. He was a little too old. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that he's 22. You have to be 21 or younger. But Julian Alvarez, you have to be in my team. I'm sorry, you just do the workhorse on this man. The engine, the pressures that he did. It's not only the goals. He scored 4 goals, by the way, and he wasn't even a starter at the beginning of the tournament. He grew into that role. He overtook Lautaro Martinez. It wasn't too hard, but I mean, Lautaro Martinez didn't step up, but Julian Alvarez did, and that's what helped Argentina make it all the way to the final and eventually win the tournament. So congratulations to Julian Alvarez. I think you should be, and you were arguably one of the best strikers, if not the best striker, at this World Cup tournament. Just behind him, an honorable mention has to go Olivier Giroud. He didn't score a goal in 2018, but he scored quite a few in this tournament. So congratulations to Giroud. He was able to do what he, missed out on in the 2018 World Cup. But he still played well in 2018, and he's done it again in 2022. So he's my special mention for the striker position. Last but not least, I'm gonna go for my honorable mention first, and I'm gonna give it to Bukayo Saka. He was absolutely amazing for England, and if they would have progressed farther and he would have kept putting on the shows and the performances that he did in the prior showings, then maybe I would have put him, somewhere on this team. But it has to go to Lionel Messi, of course, the best player at this tournament. Arguably, for me, he was the best player of the tournament. I think he deserves it. I think he was absolutely phenomenal for Argentina. He dug them out of holes that, maybe it was a little tough, like in the Mexico game. I think Argentina didn't play so well, and Messi popped up, and that's when Argentina really started to show their colors. And I think Messi, if it wasn't for that leadership, that, the style, just everything that he did. So cut off a little bit there, but I think Messi was absolutely influential for Argentina and helped them, achieve the bejeweled crown, which was the World Cup tournament, the World Cup trophy. So yeah, but that is my 11 and my honorable mentions for each position. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, please do like and subscribe, and